YouTube. Alright, it is 8:05 and I'm still out here doing Instacart. And it's a long day. I only had 2 orders all day. 2. And just about when I was thinking about leaving to go home, if I had, after 2 hours of inactivity, here it is, I get an order right when I was thinking about just logging off for the day, around 5 o'clock. So, of course, 2 minutes before it was time for me to hit that button and decide I was going to leave, I get a dang order. You know, it was a good little size order, I guess you could say. You know, it was a big order to be exact. It was almost like $38. Yeah, it was about $38. Of course, I didn't get a tip, so that was a little bit kind of disheartening. You know, $300 worth of groceries, and I didn't get no tip. So, but let me tell you, now it's starting to rain again. So let me tell you, that first order I had, right, I had delivered to this person before. And, you know, right up the road from the Publix. And here it is, they talking about leaving the groceries next to the garage. I'm like, really? So I left the customer a message in her voicemail, and I said, well, ma'am, I didn't feel comfortable leaving $300 worth of groceries. I didn't say $300, but I said you had a lot of perishable items, and I didn't really feel comfortable leaving all that groceries to go spoiled. So, but I said I will leave it at your request, and I will take pictures or whatever that has been left. So right before I was about to, after I had to lug out all of those cases of soda, all of those bottles of water, Perrier water in glass, and all that food and meats and whatever, and I took pictures of the items just in case. So just as I was about to pull off from the person's house, some lazy ass young guy opens the door and gets the groceries. Now, my thing is this. Number one, why would you not open the door the first time? You know I was coming, and this is this, and he wasn't like he was some young kid. It wasn't like he was like 13, 12, you know, old enough to stay at home by yourself. And I could understand the parent or the mother would say, leave it at the step or next to the garage. Now I can understand that, you know. But then, just as I'm about to pull off, he comes out the door. He opens the door and start getting all the groceries and stuff. So I said, okay. And he looked like he was a college student. He looked like he was about 18, 19 years old, home from school. Because the last time I delivered to this house, I saw a truck in the truck parked in the parking deck. Well, not parking, you know, right parked outside the garage, and had Auburn University. And then he had a friend come over to the house with a Chick-fil-A bag. So I told the guy, you know, this Asian guy who was the friend, I said, is there anybody home they can take these groceries from the back of this door, you know, sitting on the cement, hot ass cement. And he looking at me like, duh, like he didn't know what the hell to say or do. And so I choose. So I just loaded the groceries, put them right on next to the garage, you know, right next to the door. And then, yeah, he did say, oh, you could bring up to the front door, to the main front door. And it's not like, you know, I'm like, man, please. I said, no, I'll leave it right here at this garage. When somebody's ready to get it, they can go and get their groceries. You know, I was not about to walk up to the walkway, walk up the step, you know, like the little steps, lugging all that damn cases and bags, and you two grown-ass boys standing there with their hand empty. One had a Chick-fil-A bag, and the other one letting the friend in the house. I was like, just lazy. You know, I just don't get it. So then, so what I saw was the same house. I took all these pictures. I wish I could show y'all the pictures of all the groceries I had. So, but anyway, I managed to drive off, and then I saw him. I saw that he came to open the back door, not the back door, the side door, and got the groceries. Now look at this. It better not somebody better not request no groceries at this time. Better not, cause I'm ready to go home. Shoot, somebody gonna be, let me get some milk. And then they got the nerve to live far. You know, it should be my dang cue right now to go home. Log off early, cause that little 2 hours ain't gonna make no difference to me. That's for sure. People always do that. Somebody gonna go online and be like, let me go ahead and get me some groceries. Let me see what time it is. 8. Let me see. 8:11. Usually when it gets about 9 o'clock, I usually make my way home, and then I don't usually get too many orders at a certain time. So I'm gonna see what's gonna happen, but I should log on right now. Let me see, 6, 7, 8. Yep, I could log on right now without penalty, because it's been 2 hours since I've been in idle, I believe. I delivered that last order at 6 something. Let me see, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I may be getting right up that 2 hour mark. You know what? I'm gonna see if this weather's gonna subside a little bit. I may get one more order, but I don't know. It depends how many people's out here. See, it's amazing with Instacart. See, Instacart, let me tell y'all how it works. See, when you first initially sign up with Instacart, you request what zones you wish to work in. So, you know me, I had said I could work all the zones, any zone. Nah, you can only work one zone at a time. So, after my initial working in Lawrenceville, when I first started back in February, I was working Lawrenceville. Because one, it was closer to my house, not too far away. Then when I found out that North Atlanta, or OTP, which is outside the perimeter, included Tucker, that too was not too far from my house, but it's a big region. So I said, then I started doing, then I couldn't get Lawrenceville. It's like somebody was people who lived in Lawrenceville and Lilburn, they was getting those hours in Lawrenceville. And I couldn't get those hours for squat. That region rather. And another thing what Instacart does is that they pay you a guarantee in certain zones until the market picks up. So if you worked in Lawrenceville, Suwannee, Cumming, and say you worked in that zone, say 30 hours a week. If you don't make $10 an hour minimum at 30 hours of working at the end of the week, which is Sunday, if you don't make $300 and you're still in a guarantee zone, they'll make up the difference. And that's how that works. So, right now, Suwannee and Cumming is still a guarantee zone. So once I started saying, you know what, I'm tired of working in Tucker, and not Tucker, I was tired of working at OTP and outside the perimeter, because it was not a guarantee zone anymore. And after you do your first 30 batches, that's it. You don't get a guarantee regardless of which zone you worked in. But as long as you're working in a zone and you don't make the money of $10 per hour. By the end of the week, they give you the difference. So I said, okay, I've been working Suwannee Cumming, because when I realized that, you know, all I had to do was just go straight up 124 and then go to Sugarloaf, drive down Sugarloaf Parkway and drive down, you know, it's about 20 miles from my house. So I said, okay, I'll try out Suwannee Cumming, because one, most of the time it's going to be a lot of suburbs, you know, not too many apartment complexes, unless I was in closer to Duluth, where there's a lot of apartments along that main strip. But I don't really get too many apartments when I'm around here. But when I do, trust me, it's always something crazy. You know what? I'm gonna log off real quick. Let me go back, because I'm gonna log off early, because I'm ready to go home. It's 8:15 and I'm not gonna be getting no order. So let me, that little hour and a half ain't gonna make no difference to me. So hold on a second, y'all. Alright, y'all, I'm back. So I ended my shift early. It was supposed to end at 10 o'clock. Now, I don't stay out here until 10 o'clock. About 9:15, 9:20, I'm driving down. I'm on my way down Lawrenceville Highway. Peachtree Industrial, turning into Sugarloaf Parkway, and then turning another turn on Lawrenceville Highway. And I make 3 turns to, you know, to get home. Driving each down that parkway and highway, and I'm home. 20 miles. That's it. I'm home. Now, 9:15 or so, that's when I usually make my way home. So by the time I'm home, by the time I get home, 9:55, I get the message. Thank you. Your shift is now over. 10 o'clock, 10:05, I'm home. Back to Stone Mountain. Now, look at that. It just stopped raining just like that. It stopped raining. So, I could have hung in there a little bit longer to see if I get any orders, but I'm not going to get any more orders, because number one, usually Thursdays, I don't usually work on Thursdays. I never recalled working on Thursdays. And if I did work on a Thursday, I probably make what, 50, 60 bucks, you know? So Sunday and Monday is the busiest time, supposedly. Saturday, it could be busy. Friday, you may get a few orders, but pretty much it's been pretty slow, you know. It's been pretty slow. But I try to make my I'm making pretty decent money for the number of hours I put in, but it ain't nothing to sneeze about, I guess you could say. But it's just like any typical ride-sharing gigs. Ain't nobody making thousands and thousands of dollars. They're not. Even people who do Uber. When I did Uber, driving people, you know, I had breaks in between, of course, but after all those miles on your car and you know, I never get into a surge, and if I did, you don't really notice any difference. And for those people who trying to wait for that 6.5 or some crazy surge, those days are gone. I haven't seen that ever. And by the time Uber took their little 35% fee, shoot, you didn't see, I didn't see no difference. I didn't see no difference, trust me. You see maybe $3, $4, but nope, wasn't worth it. It was not worth it. And but I could tell you one thing, I ain't get no tips today. None. Something's real strange about that number. Because this last customer I had, you know, she was real nice. And I know she said she left a tip. because she told me about the service fee, and she said, "Oh, I leave a tip. I always get good service." But when I looked at the the payout, I didn't see a tip. I was like, "What the hell's going on?" Usually, I know when people say they tip, and they are not confused about no service fee. Because see, Instacart customer service, they like to tell you some foolishness. Oh, well, maybe the customer didn't realize the service fee. No. And I tell them real quick, that is not the case. I said they were not confused about no tip and the difference between the service fee. Because they told me themselves, I ain't even mentioned it to nobody. Because she started asking me about, do I do this full time and, and part time, and she thought that you like employees. I said, no, we're independent contractors. We don't get no benefits, So I guess she kind of understood that really that people make money through the gratuities, But I'm quite sure I get some tips. I get pretty good tips from people in this, Lawrenceville and Suwannee Cumming. I get a pretty good, decent tips from customers. But a lot of times, let me tell you, a lot of times you may come across that one customer who really, you will see a like $20-something tip or something to that nature. Because you understand, groceries is like a high price item. When you go to the grocery store, small bag of whatever is about $50. So you figure if you're spending $50, give or take, with groceries, you thinking that you should easily get, let me put this to home, you thinking that if you're spending $50 in groceries, your grocery bill is $50, that you would easily get you think you're gonna get $10-12 if you're spending $50 in groceries, but you don't. Not all the time. So for me, I just don't know what to, I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell y'all. I don't know what the logic with people with tips. You thinking that you're supposed to get 40%, 20%, or even 15% of what you spend, and it just don't happen. You just don't get 15% of $80 or $300 worth of groceries. Like today, my first order, that total came up to about $250-ish, $260, something like that, or whatever it was. Now Instacart gives me a bump in pay, which is $10, because anything over 100, so it's $300, they give you a $10 extra large delivery bump. Then it's 40 cents an item, which this person had a lot of items. So, and then the delivery fee, which today is what, $9.75. So that was about $35 that I got from the services of Instacart. Now, the customer, if they was to leave a tip of $200 or offer $300, you would think that it would be $50-$60. No, you don't get that. I've gotten that a few times with Instacart when people had, gave me a tip through the app. But then it's just, I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't understand it. I guess they think that maybe the service fee is coming to the driver or the shopper, and I don't even, maybe that's what they think. Maybe they think the service fee is comes to us, and they figured, oh, okay, the service fee, and we don't get it. So some people, and within Instacart, they took it upon themselves to educate to educate the customer that the driver or the delivery person or the shopper doesn't get the service fee. That's optional, and it goes to Instacart, and you don't have to pay the service fee. Some people opt out. Some people may learn, or they try to edit it, or they couldn't do it. I don't know. I just don't trust Instacart, to be honest. They probably seen that a lot of people were not paying the service fee, or they weren't getting the service fee, and maybe they prevent the customer from changing it. And then they're not going to leave a tip because they already paid $200 something odd with the markup of the groceries, the service fee, and then if they paid a yearly membership, and then on top of all that, you paying, you're giving a tip. That's a lot of money that somebody's paying to give a tip, service fee, then you pay markup on the groceries. I have receipts that could be $50, but the customer may be paying, $70, and then get charged a service fee. So they may be paying $100, and they only bought $50 worth of groceries, for all I know. Now, I don't think that it can't possibly be 100% markup of $50 to $100. I can't see it, and trust me, if that's the case, I wouldn't use Instacart myself. First of all, they don't even serve the area that I live, but Instacart and Ship is the other company. Shoot, they ain't no better. And as much as I want to tell people, you make more money with Instacart when you do grocery shop than that 7.5% percentage fee that you get from Ship. I said, even if you look, you compare it grocery to grocery, you get the same items. You got those same items at Ship. Instacart pays a little bit more money than Ship does. And the way they tip, the customer tips the same way. Matter of fact, I don't care what anybody thinks. Ship doesn't hardly tip people as much as Instacart. The only problem I have with Instacart is that they have too many. They may hire I don't know. A lot of people think they hire too many shoppers, and that may be true. I think they get too many. I think they hire too many shoppers, and they don't spend a lot of their resources in selling more memberships for people to do the grocery shopping. I think that if you want to sell a membership, then you need to sell a membership, and then not mark up those groceries to the customer, and then maybe charge, and then let them give an option where they could tip or do something, because I just this Instacart, for me to be working 59 hours or 40, I try to sign up. I try to go like 79 hours in 1 week, but it's it's like it gets to a point where I'm like, God dang, I'm tired of sitting around during the week. Or they come up there and say, do you wish to leave early? You know, there's a lot of things that I could be doing. There's a lot of things I could be doing. Now, I'll have to, you know, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I'll hear something back. And I'm not going to be putting all my efforts and time with Instacart once I go back to work. Because once I go back to work with a real position, and I'll hear something back with, I should hear something back with SunTrust pretty soon. I spoke to the person who interviewed me, and he said, oh, nobody hasn't got contacted yet, you know. So I'm quite sure there's a lot of things they have to put together, you know. Offer letters and training and, you know, all the 9 yards. So I have to be patient, you know, just be patient. Because I know they're hiring people. I know they need people. You know, it's not like that temp agency with the ADP, you know. They was ready to offer me the position, but I had to wait on budget and to turn around. They didn't get the funding to offer me the position. And when I tried to contact the manager who I actually interviewed with at ADP, when I, you know, sent her an email, the email bounced back to me that it didn't exist anymore. So I guess they must have fired her, you know, because they did say there was some major layoffs with ADP, and I guess at that time she probably was one of those that was let go as well, and that's why they couldn't hire any more people. Or they put it this way, they couldn't hire anyone, and because they was laying off people, because it was like, you know, the temp agency, when it was like the vice president was coming in town, and they were trying to pitch for more money, and they said they weren't giving them any more money. And then the inside scoop that I heard was, because my friend, her baby daddy, he worked at ADP, and said that he had lost his job at ADP, and he's unemployed after working for that same company, and he's driving for Uber. He drives Uber, you know. So in a way, I guess that was a blessing in disguise, because I knew I had that job. I knew I had it. But the way how these companies are now, laying people off, and they not financially strong, or whatever the case may be, that's it. And even like Amazon, that work from home position at Amazon, let me tell you, they only want to pay $10 an hour. They want you to use your own laptop, and then they mail me a laptop. They tell you, well, we're testing out some laptops. We're going to be giving you a laptop or mailing one. I still got that laptop sitting in the box, never opened, never got an email from them, oh, how to return it and send it back to them. They ain't got nothing. I'm telling you, let me still have that laptop by the end of December. You know, let me still have that laptop. Shoot, that's gonna be like a free gift for all the inconvenience and all the heartache and headache I got from going through that damn training with Amazon. Shoot. But I'm gonna tell you though, Amazon, that customer service job, you know, it ain't all cracked up to be. I can tell you that. $10. And then the thing about it, they had no benefits. There were no benefits with that job. They said it was seasonal for like 7 months, and then, oh no, 6 months, something like that. And then they said that if they like you or whatever, they'll bring people on board. They just want to recycle people. You know, how you gonna tell me training was 6 weeks and then you get on board, then they try to tell you, oh, you need to hurry and finish this training in 4 or 5 days. Something that took 2 weeks, no, something that was 3 weeks of modules, self-training, taking tests, was not 4 or 5 days of work. It wasn't. It was ridiculous. If they wanted to do that, then you should have been upfront about it and not just try to, we need people on the phone. You need people on the phone that bad that you just get anybody on the phone to answer calls and don't know what the hell they talking about. Just like Instacart. Instacart has customer service, so-called customer service. No, they call them happiness team. Those people are not happy. Every time I call up the happiness team, inquire about something, they want to rush you off the phone. They never answered your question. You know, you send them an email, you never get a response back from the email. Nothing. You know, I think they got about 20 customer service reps to handle all the service areas they have across the country. You know, that's just ridiculous. You know, and they didn't want to know why. They didn't want to know why customer service jobs get shipped over to India, and companies stopped